actually very excited about it. We're going to have every Mortal Kombat character from MK1 to MK5 of the fighting games. I'm sorry, up to Deception, and we're going to have. It's probably going to be about 60 characters in total that you'll be able to pick between to fight against.
The biggest challenge in bringing back all the previous MK characters was introducing them into the 3D world. Many of the characters that are brought into Armageddon were only seen in 2D before.
Some characters we haven't seen in a long time, Stryker, Shiva, Fujin, Kai, are returning after 10-year hiatuses.
We have a new feature, Create a Fighter, where you can actually create your own fighter, give him his own moves, fighting styles, name your own fighting styles, and take them online and fight against other people, against their created fighters. We have just as extensive of a way of dressing your character, creating the costume and all that.
In Create a Fighter, you can pick out every different attribute on the character, from hairstyle to boot style to costume style. You can make the exact character you wanted to see in Mortal Kombat.
But we're letting you get a little more personal too. You can actually create your own fighting style, create your own combos, name your fighting style, name your combos, and they actually, come up on the screen with the names that you use, and then it'll also be the other players that you play online will see those names as well too. So it's a very personalized fighting system.
Create a Fighter is set up so that if you're, a hardcore fan, you can go in and do everything from scratch and make this super character just from nothing, basically. And if you're a more casual player, you can go in, pick a default. They'll have some attributes already assigned. You can just tweak a couple things and then go in the game and fight. Conquest in Mortal Kombat Armageddon is going to be different in a lot of ways. One of them is the storyline. Another one is the playability with the different types of attacks and different moves you have. And the big one is in terms of graphics.
We've had vast graphic improvements in the Conquest mode in Armageddon. It looks a million times better than previous Mortal Kombats. We spent a lot more time working on the backgrounds in Conquest. They're much more vast and detailed, as well as the characters.
The fact that we have all of the previous Mortal Kombat characters, we really don't want to have a Mortal Kombat game and not introduce anybody. So the star of the Conquest mode is going to be a character that you will be able to unlock and use in the fighting game.
Features we've added to Conquest are different types of attacks, multi-directional attacks, throws, and the environments that you can interact with in terms of breaking things and smashing things.
Probably the biggest new feature that we've added to Conquest is its fighting mechanic. You can actually fight against the NPCs, not only talk to them, find out information, unlock things, but you can actually have fights against 5, 10, 15 opponents at the same time. So we're very excited about the fact that it can actually stand alone as its own kind of action-adventure game by itself.
We have the multiple fighting styles, but we're actually taking a lot of the combat that you played in the game into the air. So all the combos that people have been doing on the floor, on the ground, you can actually do in the air now. You can do parry moves, you can do combo breakers, all that stuff can happen in the air. So it's a lot more crazy variety stuff that happens than even in the latest game, Deception.
We've taken the jumping mechanics and the air combos from 2D fighting games and applied them to our existing 3D fighting engine to create a much more layered fighting system, a much more deeper fighting system.
This is the first Mortal Kombat with a parry move, actually. So we're actually letting the players, do a move that will kind of freeze your opponent if you time it right. Someone who's going to start a combo on you, you kind of turn the tables on them and start a combo on them. So it's a lot more of a cat and mouse game, rock, paper, scissors thing. Armageddon has the biggest departure in terms of fatalities. We actually have very interactive fatalities. You can piece together as many mini fatalities as you have the ability to fire off in a short period of time. So you can literally create your own fatalities, kind of get, give a player a little creative freedom in terms of generating the most gruesome fatalities you can think of.
So give us an example. What kind of things could you do? What's a really cool fatality you could think of?
Well, some characters, you can tear out body parts, tear the guy's heart out, rip his thigh out, rip his rib out and stuff like that. So you can do all those things, rip the guy's brain out and then tear off his head, and you can do that in any order that you want. So it's kind of like a mix and match of all these mini fatalities. I actually am, I agree that M-rated games shouldn't be sold to minors. I don't feel like we should be. It's kind of like an R-rated movie. There's an intended audience for it, and it should be just for that audience. So in terms of any sort of enforcing of not allowing M-rated games to be purchased by kids, I'm all for it.